everybody, welcome back to another episode of SaaS Coach Live with Tony's Eyes. This is Andy.
Hey everybody, what's going on?
It's a special edition.
This is very special. Obviously we look like we're maybe in a pretty unique spot right now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of
So,
middle of nowhere-ish.
Yeah, standing on salt, I think.
Uh-huh.
So Tony and I have been taking a trip across the country from Cleveland to San Francisco to meet with a big potential client, and we've been talking to people along the way at different stops, and so now we're in Utah, right?
Yeah.
And so we're right past Salt Lake City. Here we just drove out onto this kind of salt plain here with the red Jeep that we got.
And there's a cop that pulled somebody else over there, and we're wondering if we're going to be interrupted. So
Yeah,
this gets cut off. And
if this episode
please
ends,
bear with
it's
us.
because we're getting arrested, that's all. So not too big of a deal. But yeah, we figured with this special episode, instead of doing one of the continuing principles that we've been talking about, that we've got such a beautiful landscape that we can just talk about for SaaS and software products, the importance of beauty across everything that they do.
Yeah. I think for me, like being out here, it's like an inspiration, like finding inspiration in beauty and in nature. And we're sitting doing work at a laptop in an office day in, day out. I think just kind of having a little bit of a pattern interrupt, almost like why we're doing this show here, is it's a little bit, it's refreshing, right? Just a different change, take in the beauty, the nature, and kind of find some inspiration in that. So I think part of that
scene is amazing.
Yeah,
isn't it? We've got the mountains around us. It is just fantastically beautiful.
Like even along this drive, there's just been so much simplicity of nature that just for me has like re-energized me. We're like 6-7 hours away, and I'm feeling good. I'm not worn out.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's something refreshing about it. And I think that's a principle that you can almost apply to your SaaS business.
Well, and I think, that was the point of this idea of beauty to me, is that I think whether you're developing a brand, you want it to look beautiful to capture attention and get people interested, whether you're developing a website that's beautiful and easy for people to use, a product that's really, again, we talk about user experience all the time, but just beautiful as well, like well-designed advertising. I mean, sometimes I think as software companies, the founders and other people can be very focused on the function.
Yeah.
How does it work, and less on the form and the beauty of it. So I think it's an opportunity to talk about that a little bit, is across everything you do, how do you add that special thing that makes you unique but is beautiful and special.
And I'm just taking in right now where we're at. To me, this is like just breathtaking. And part of it is just the simplicity of it, the contrast.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those things are part of the aesthetic that are so...
part of our principles, when we talk about the website principles of marketing, it's about simplicity and being clean and just something that attracts people on a regular basis. And I really think that's what this landscape makes you think of.
For sure.
And it's an interesting idea for people that own SaaS companies that are so focused on the function, that instead of just sitting in front of that whiteboard in your conference room, take your team out, and can you go in a place like this and talk about, why you're in the business and what people like, and, how does something that is just a beautiful landscape like this inspire you to change your thinking about your product or your appearance or your brand or any of those things. Because I do think that especially software people can be so focused on the code and the features and the whiteboard of all that stuff, rather than getting out and just kind of being inspired.
No, I get it. Sorry if I seem a little distracted. I was just watching that cop. He finished his stop.
Oh, and he
just
drove
had it
past
off,
us.
and he just drove past. So I think we're good.
Tony was so worried. He's like, I don't want to be in jail.
Not in Utah.
Yeah,
I've heard
right,
about those
no kidding.
Utah prisons.
So I guess we're safe, and we're good to be out here in the middle of this random thing. I'm actually going to take this and spin it around because I think it'd be cool for people to see.
Very cool.
So here here's the good, beautiful red Jeep, and then the mountains, and we're gonna go around, and you can see the road that we came down. Pretty fantastic. Hopefully you can hear me. And just mountains everywhere. Talk about a beautiful scene. And then we've got this crazy salt plain that we're standing on right now. So pretty amazing and pretty fantastic to be out here.
It's incredible.
I love it. So yeah, I mean, we have been typically talking about these website principles, and beauty is obviously a part of all of them, because I think conversion is about creating an impression and a feel, something that invites people and gives them confidence. And we say the same thing in brand and marketing and all of that. But I think today's episode is just a lot about change your location, change your mindset, be inspired.
Inspiration, that's huge. And we talk a lot marketing psychology, and if you step back and think about it, that looking at that experience that someone has when they're at your website or using your product, we're human beings, right? And so aesthetics are fairly universal, right? So most people are going to find this quite breathtaking, right? So I think you can find a lot of inspiration and ideas and motivation just going into nature, finding something beautiful and spending some time there. So cool concept.
And we've when we've done some websites, even in the software techie space, and you think it's got to be all about showing screenshots and that, you actually can do things like this, like vistas. Look at when you open up either Windows or Apple. The first thing you see is a beautiful image. And it's the same thing for your product, same thing for your website. Is you can't be afraid to kind of leverage just aesthetics at the end of the day, and something clean. I think that's cool. I've seen it used in products too, like backgrounds or elements or different things, and definitely in websites, even for software products, leveraging just great photography that evokes emotion. So pretty fantastic.
I love it. I love that kind of stuff that kind of gives you, everyone attaches a different feeling to different things, and I think it's important a lot of times, if you're more analytical, to remember that touching that emotive side of people is really important, and imagery is a great way to do that.
Yeah, I totally agree. Cool. All right, guys, I think that's enough for this week's episode. We've got like another 6 or 7 hours to drive until we're stopping tonight, and then on our way to San Francisco for some fun. You guys will actually be seeing this while we're probably arriving in San Francisco tomorrow, which is all good. And then we're going to be back next week with the normal SaaS Coach website conversion. We're going over the killer techniques to increase conversion for SaaS websites. I think we'll be on number 5 or so, and should be a great episode. That's about it.
Sounds great. So if you haven't done it already, go to SaaS.coach and download that killer website guidebook. You can follow along with the steps there. But until next week, we'll see you guys then.
And get out and explore, do something different, change your mindset, get inspired. It's fun, it's exciting, and it'll get you going. So awesome, guys. Have a great week.